Hi there! Today I'm sharing with you a recipe for pavlova. Pavlova is a popular dessert and is made from egg whites and sugar. It's crisp on the outside but soft, fluffy and marshmallow-like on the inside. In this tutorial I'm going to share with you all the tips and tricks to get the perfect pavlova. Let's start by making the meringue. The first thing we need to do is to separate the egg whites from the yolk. Separate one at a time. I use 3 bowls when I'm doing this stage. It's important not to get any traces of the yolk in the egg white, as the fat in the yolk will cause the egg whites not to stiffen. I also make sure to give all the bowls and equipment I'm using a wipe down with vinegar or lemon juice to remove any traces of oils or fats. With the leftover egg yolks, you can store them in the fridge for a few days or even freeze them. When you've separated all the eggs, mix the egg whites on a low speed until they get foamy. Then turn the machine up to a medium speed. If you use too high a speed, it creates air bubbles more quickly and makes the meringue less stable and more likely to collapse. Whip until the egg whites form stiff peaks. Stiff peaks are when you remove the beaters, the egg whites form a peak and they don't fall over. Now we can start adding the sugar. You need to use caster sugar, which is really fine and will dissolve much quicker and easier when whipping. If you don't have fine sugar, place your normal sugar in the food processor and blitz until it's finer. I add a tablespoon at a time and whip it in before adding another tablespoon. Do this until you've used up all the sugar. If you put too much sugar in at this stage, the egg whites will lose all its air and collapse. When all the sugar is added, beat the meringue for about 6 to 7 minutes on high speed. Then you need to check the meringue is ready by taking a bit between your fingers, and if you feel any sugar grains, you need to beat again for another minute and check again. If it's completely smooth, all the sugar is dissolved and that's what you want. If you've ever made a pavlova in the past and got a sugary water at the bottom of your pavlova, this is because the sugar hasn't completely dissolved and is melting in the oven. The final ingredients we add is vanilla extract. We also add cornflour and white vinegar. Mix at a high speed for about 30 seconds so that everything is combined. You'll notice that the meringues are getting glossier, fluffier and brighter as you whip them. The meringue is now ready, but before placing it on the baking sheet, brush a little water on the baking paper. This will stop the pavlova from sticking and make it easier to remove. There's nothing worse than making a pavlova and it's sticking to the baking paper, and when you try to remove it, it ends up cracking. Your worst nightmare. Spoon the pavlova onto a lined 8-inch 20cm circle. It doesn't have to be exact, shape it how you like and flatten the top slightly. Place the pavlova in a preheated oven at 150 Celsius, 300 Fahrenheit for 1.5 to 2 hours. When the time is up, turn the oven off and keep the door shut. Leave the pavlova to cool for 4 to 5 hours or overnight is best. This will help keep the pavlova from collapsing. Now let's whip up some cream. You can use single or double cream and whip by hand or using an electric mixer. I'm whipping up some plain cream, but you can sweeten by adding icing sugar and vanilla extract, and you'll find the exact measurements in the recipe below. Now it's time to decorate the pavlova. Top with the whipped cream, put lots on, then place the fruit on top. I'm using strawberries, but you can use a mix of all your favourite berries. Anything goes with pavlova. This pavlova is best eaten on the day assembled, but a naked pavlova will keep for up to a week if you wrap it in cling wrap and foil and store in a dry place. I'd love to know if you're going to make this pavlova. You'll find the recipe in the description box below. If you need any help, comment below and I'll get back to you. Don't forget to subscribe or follow my page so you don't miss out on my easy to follow tutorials. Thanks so much for watching and happy baking everyone.
Scrummy!